I have here that I want to get to as much as possible several prayers to help recession-proof your mind and to condition your mind for good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. For as the book here says, everything is a condition of the mind. You know how much money you have now? Just as much money as you've conditioned your mind to have. That's what you're going to have, no more, no less. But you see, that's what this teaching is all about. It's for conditioning and reconditioning and stretching the mind to the realization and the demonstration of greater and greater of infinite good. That's why you have to always come to seminars and classes and services like this. There's something interesting about the mind. Many things, but this in particular at the moment. The mind cannot escape conditioning. If you do not consciously and deliberately condition your mind to be, to do, and to have the good that you desire, the world will condition your mind negatively. Because as I started saying before, everything in the world is geared to condition the mind all day long as the world turns. And if you don't take a hold of your own mind and condition it, before you know it, you will find yourself in the middle of a secret storm on the edge of night in General Hospital with all my children. So you have to deliberately follow the guiding light until you find a brighter day. A brighter day. In dealing with people over the years, I've developed these prayers. And I want to review with you as much as possible the prayer for success and prosperity and the prayer for money. Let me say something very interesting about the prayer for money. Some years ago, I had a Spanish-speaking practitioner at my church in New York to translate this study guide into Spanish. She came to me at the end of the project and said to me, Reverend Ike, she said, I translated every one of the prayers in this book, but I could not translate the prayer for money. But she was very perceptive, and she said to me, she said, maybe it's something in me. And yes, it was. Do you know what it was? It got a hold of her money rejection complex. Because she still had some of that old teaching in her, well, money is evil, money is sinful. Those old evil rich people. But you know, it seems like there are more evil poor people than evil rich people. I mean, when the marshal is setting you out on the streets in the cold and you can't pay your rent, I mean, a man could get real evil. Let's start with the prayer for success and prosperity here. And I want to read the text from Proverbs 3 and 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Now, my theology is encapsulated in 3 words. God in you. To make it personal, God in me. Let me hear you say, God in me.
God in me.
Come on, touch yourself and say, God in me.
God in me.
Now, that's my theology. As far as I'm concerned, God is not some distant creature afar off in the sweet by and by. You know, there's certain, I have a list of songs at my church titled, Don't You Ever Sing That in Here. And number 1 on that list is the song In the Sweet by and by. He said, I need something in the sweet now and now. Lay it on me right here, right now, Lord. Let's hear it. And God have a good working relationship. He says to the angels, here comes that, I give him what he wants in a hurry because he's not going to wait. Anyway, let's get back to acknowledging the God in you. Get in the habit of talking to the God in you, acknowledging the God in you. God in me, tell me what to do about this. Let me hear you say that.
God in me, tell me what to do about this.
God in me, show me how to prosper and bless myself and others.
God in me, show me how to prosper and bless myself and others.
I'm thinking about a lady in Los Angeles about 20 years ago. She was on television with us when we first started our television ministry. She had been on welfare for 24 years, raised about 6 children on welfare. And she heard me at the Shrine Auditorium. And that particular day, I gave a prayer like this to the congregation. I said, God in you will give you some money-making ideas. God in you will give you some prospering ideas. Ideas that will bless you and bless people in general. I said, this week, ask the God in you to give you some prospering ideas. And furthermore, I said to them, I said, every one of you, God has given you a gift. Ask God to show you your gift, to show you your talent. And she went home and she thought about this. And she said, God in me, show me my talent, show me my gift. And she said it was as if God was speaking to her verbally. She heard the voice within saying to her, well, you raised 6 children. Therefore, you are a child care specialist. That's your gift. She said, I am? Yes. That to her was the voice from on high. And so she went around in her community to her friends, other friends who were on welfare, and said, I'm a child care specialist. I tell you what, bring your kids over to my house. I'll watch them while you go out and get a job. And we'll get off of this welfare slavery plantation. And more of her friends and people in the neighborhood began to bring the kids to her. And she began to take care of them. It so happened that she got so many mothers off of welfare over there in her neighborhood and did such a fine job taking care of the kids that the city certified her as a child care specialist. And not only that, a university gave her a doctorate in child care specialization, whatever that is, just by acknowledging the God in her and asking for guidance.